GE is 125 years old this year. It's over 300,000 employees in 170 countries around the world with a pretty basic purpose: to build, to move, to power, and to cure the world. At the heart of the company's innovation. The thing that I'm the most excited about inside GE is this idea of bringing information technology together with operational technology.
We originally engaged with Microsoft around trying to modernize what we call our digital workplace.
Office 365 really allows us to collaborate with team members and customers. It enables us to be more productive and efficient. It also enables us to sell and drive growth.
We needed to empower all 300,000 plus employees to be faster, more efficient, operate in a frictionless environment.
Office 365 brought together Work Social. It brought together teaming. It brought together collaboration tools, together with an Office suite that everybody loved and was used to using.
Microsoft has been both a great provider of product, but also a fantastic partner for the services in terms of getting us rolled out quickly, efficiently, and to really change the lives of our employees. For Exchange Online, 220,000 mailboxes migrated right now. Skype for Business is rolled out across the entire company. We are replacing our audio bridge provider today with PSTN conferencing worldwide. We have 100,000 accounts that we'll be enabling right now. Yammer, we have about 165,000 people actively using the platform. We've fully enabled GE Digital Division with Microsoft Teams, and we have Pro Plus installed on every device that we have across the ecosystem.
When we create this connected digital ecosystem, we really think about commercial productivity. If we were to unleash 5% more productivity out of our sales force, what's at stake for GE is an incremental $6.2 billion.
We've saved over $20 million this year alone just by putting in some simple collaboration tools with Office 365 that are allowing them to be more efficient. One of the great parts is our ability to manage security. When you're talking about power, when you're talking about air travel, when you're talking about water sources, food sources, and healthcare, security matters.
Microsoft has the capabilities and solutions to allow us to keep our information safe and secure, while at the same time not putting so much rigidity into the system where it becomes a detractor for users.
One of the reasons why we're partnered with Microsoft is not only what they're doing for us today, but the promise of tomorrow.
What I see today is that same culture that I find in GE in Microsoft. It's one of curiosity. There's always going to be more to learn. There's always going to be new discoveries. I'm really excited about where the future is going to go because I'm seeing progress happen with Microsoft faster than we've ever experienced it before from any one of our other partners.
My name is Manuela Pichler. I started at Virgin about 7 years ago as a software developer, and I manage a business systems development team. We develop quick win and tactical solutions for the business. A lot of our workforce isn't based in the office. They're mobile. They need the data they require at the time they need it without going back to an office to check the information on a desktop. All of our remote workers were equipped with tablets as part of a company project. It was a bit of a daunting prospect for my team because we don't have mobile development experience. Traditionally, mobile software development is pricey and lengthy and requires a very specific set of skills. And through discovering Power Apps and using that, it really helped us feel more confident in our role. I kind of looked at all of the different elements. So I did one of the one-day labs that are available, looked at the functionality there, and then it just really sparked my imagination. I think it really clicked when I opened it, how much better we could provide customer service to our internal business areas. One that made kind of the most impact is an app to complete safety and compliance checklists. You just go through a couple of questions, make sure that people are wearing the safety footwear, the high-vis jackets, equipment is stored in the correct places. It allows the team to see trends, see improvements, highlight areas that have been done really well. It was a great example of working well together with the engineering team. It's just never been this easy and this quick to create applications. Using Power Apps, it really has allowed me to raise my visibility across the IT department, and it just helped my confidence massively. I develop Power Apps, I help other people develop Power Apps, and I help IT manage what's being created. People that I don't know now walk up to me and they're like, "Oh, you're the Power Apps girl. Can you help me with that?" It's like, yeah, I can.
In the real world, we all know that doing more with less just doesn't work. In the world of public sector services, however, local authorities in the UK are being asked to resolve the apparent contradiction of providing higher levels of service to their increasing customer base with a significantly reduced budget and revenue support grant. Utilising the power of cloud technologies, and in particular Microsoft Dynamics CRM and the Office 365 suite for business collaboration, progressive local authorities are improving their levels of customer service and offering the public self-service resolutions via the web, mobile devices, and social networking channels. When a customer contacts the council with their service request and hence expectation of resolution, what do you know about them? Who they are and where they live, yes, because they probably just told you that. What you can offer them, not necessarily. In sharp contrast to a customer contact solution, which only tells you when and what this customer last contacted you about, with a limit displaying the last 6 communications, Microsoft Dynamics CRM is a true customer relationship management solution, which will profile your customer and put the latest service request in context. Because it's in the Microsoft Cloud, customers can request these services via the web portal of the authority, at a time and place of their preference, using the web via a mobile device, tablet, or phone of their choosing, as all operating systems and browsers are supported. The public can become the council's eyes and ears in the community, unpaid environmental wardens, in fact. Service requests, regardless of channel, are automatically routed to whoever is best placed to deliver that service, whether that be an individual, work group, contractor, or third sector voluntary organisations. The public can now have a choice to communicate with the local authority in the most convenient way and time to suit them. And for the council, all such requests are captured in CRM and never lost, on the phone, online, or on the mobile. They can even create their own account with the council and administer their own profile and areas of interest. So contact Pythagoras, a Microsoft Gold partner who specialise in local government solutions, and let them show how your council can start to address the challenge of doing more with less.
So G&J Pepsi, we've been around for about 100 years. We have 13 locations in central, southern Ohio, eastern Kentucky. We have about 1,600 employees. We got into Power Apps about 18 months ago. We were in during the beta program. We really drive to kind of look for those next cutting edge technologies that's going to enhance our business, enhance revenue, and cut costs, and also kind of just streamline our business and make our people more efficient so we can sell more product. So we were trying to do a lot more with mobile, but we didn't have any professional developers on staff in order to do that. When we saw Power Apps, it just felt like a no-brainer for us. We fell in love with it. We were working with it even before it went to general availability. When Microsoft did launch Power Apps in GA or general availability, we went live with our first application.
So Eric has never really done a lot of app development around here, or any real programming development for us. Most of his work has been in the cloud space. So when he took over at Power Apps, it was really a new beginning for him to start programming apps for G&J. So it was unique to see how quickly he went from almost zero programming skills to developing a full app and rolling that out in literally 3 to 4 months.
The Store Audit Center in Power Apps allows us to quickly communicate any kind of tasks that need to complete in the marketplace to our account managers, and communicate driver notes to our drivers, routing instructions to our logistics team, and also follow up on any out of stocks or signage issues.
We can't have empty shelves, right? We just can't lose to our competition just because we have empty shelves. That's where Power Apps comes into play. That's where Flow comes into play. That's where Power BI comes into play. Is they're helping us, ensure proper execution. They're helping us improve on execution. They're exposing where we're not executing.
Every day we have 70 to 80 trucks running out of this building. They have 140 different parking spots that those trucks can be put in. As you can see, all the trucks look the same. If you're a driver, how do you know which truck is yours for the day?
Why do you need an application to tell a guy what spot you're in? But when you talk about the size and the amount of trucks that Columbus has, that we can't have drivers who have certain windows to meet to deliver products that our customers walking through our parking lot.
So we developed an app that allows the warehouse to mark where each truck is parked. In the morning, the driver simply opens his phone, checks his email, and it tells him exactly where his truck is parked.
What we discovered with Power Apps and Power BI and Flow is that when used in conjunction with each other, it created a digital feedback loop that allowed us to collect data that we've never been able to collect before, store it, and then Power BI is pulling that in, and then we're able to report on it and make sense of what we're seeing, make sense of what we've never seen before.
Power BI allows us to look for trends where we're strong, and at the same time trends where we're weak, and allows us to make any adjustments in how we go to market.
We feel like there's hundreds, if not thousands, of processes that we feel like Power Apps, Power BI, and Flow are going to allow us to tackle those challenges that we have that are not digital currently.
So the journey for us really with Power Apps and Power BI started with Power BI. So along that journey, we decided that it wasn't just about reporting on the data. There was so much new information that they wanted to show in Power BI. So Power BI actually helped drive Power Apps for us, because we actually used Power Apps to gather that information to then deliver it downstream to Power BI. So in essence, Power BI kind of was the birth of Power Apps for us.
Good morning all, good afternoon, and then good evening if you are joining us from the rest of the world. Thank you for your time today, and thanks for being on this webinar. Thanks for being on this webinar today with us. So today we have a very packed agenda for you, just to ensure that we can discuss the topic of the webinar today, which is Microsoft Dynamic. We are looking at it from a data-driven business approach. So today we have, a couple of partnerships, and also we also have some panelists, on today's meeting, and we intend to have a very detailed discussion on this particular topic. It's very interesting. Preparing for the session today, it was really an eye-opener in a sense that the power of what Microsoft Dynamics can do is very, very important. It's very important from, from a business perspective. So I'm going to be introducing the partners for today. So the Learning Space, in partnership with First Distribution and Microsoft, presents you with this topic today. And the Learning Space is a capacity building company that is responsible for ICT niche type training. From that perspective, creating innovation and bringing expertise to the African continent. First Distribution is a distributor of ICT solutions and services, and they have a very strong footprint in Africa, and also a deep-rooted footprint in Nigeria as well. And through First Distribution, all the other OEMs, including Microsoft, connects into to provide services across multiple locations. So from that perspective, Microsoft as well is an OEM, right? That has transformed over the years into a full-fledged cloud service provider, with powerful infrastructure and powerful solutions to really transform business and business operations. As you see from the discussion today around Microsoft Dynamics, you come to realize that they are connectors, and they are connectors, they are applications that links, to Microsoft Dynamics and all other Microsoft solutions that are available. So allow me to introduce the panelists. I will start with Vivian Kalu. She's a director, training and development, the Learning Space. She has experience in information technology from a management perspective as well, and also from a technical perspective, having a very good experience in the telecommunication vertical. She has professional and expert level expertise across IBM, Aviatrix, Microsoft, Cisco, ITIL, Red Hat. So she's well balanced, and well skilled in the field. At this juncture, I would like to introduce Aisha Bello, the SMB executive for Virtual Informatics. One of the things that is unique about Aisha Bello is that she's in the education space, and you would agree with me that we need more and more of this kind of people to help us transform our education space from a technology perspective. During this pandemic, right, the education industry have been shifting or tried to shift into technology, and Microsoft is well positioned for that. Aisha Bello has a degree in computer science, and she's also an educator, as I've earlier mentioned. She has a passion to incorporate technology into learning, and I think that is unique and a trend that would continue to stay because people still need to get used to that way of work. She also has some other passion with other stakeholders around the education space and around the small and medium business space as well. Introducing Oyindamola Olaleka. She's a technical project director at Virtual Informatics. She is very passionate about Microsoft and also has a number of certifications covering routing and switching security and productivity. So we will look forward to hearing from Oyindamola Olaleka with regards to her view on this particular topic today. Introducing Olumide Dixon is a sales specialist for First Distribution, very passionate about converting business requirement into solutions, right? Because it's very important to have that synergy, right? And that's why working with Olumide is very, very important. Even businesses, aligning is very important because you got to make sure that you're able to deliver value, exceptional value to business. So just introducing Aderemi Oluwaseyi. He is going to be presenting today and also going to be demoing to us today. So we really look forward to to learning and to also be part of the discussion around Microsoft Dynamics, looking at it from a data-driven approach. Going further, Aderemi is a Microsoft certified trainer. He is also a Power Platform and Microsoft project online implementation and training specialist. So that's sort of like a handful of experience. Very interesting. He has a vast experience in customer service, team leadership, and team management. Very important because any business, needs to actually drive their business from a customer approach. Because why are you in business if not to fulfill a particular business need or to have a customer, right, that would buy your product or buy your services? And they're not just buying your product or services; they are buying your product and services to be able to generate revenue or to be able to bring other solutions and services that are of value to the ecosystem. So again, thank you very much for listening to my introduction. My name is Kabiru Mohamed Aliu. I'm the founder of Transform Africa, and I like to consider myself just a student. I like to see myself as a student. I'm continuously learning, and it's very, very important for us to keep active in the ICT space because a lot of things are changing, and we need to change with the times as well. So thank you very much. So we're going to be taking a presentation now, but before we do, I would like to really request that you please post your questions in the Q&A section. Please ask as many questions as possible. We'll try our best to respond as best as possible. So I will now be calling on Aderemi to take the presentation. Thank you very much, and thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. I'm glad to be here. Looking at the events of what has happened over the past few weeks, it's much more important to empower ourselves, to know more, learn more, and to be able to empower ourselves to do more, both in Nigeria and, diaspora. as well. So yeah, that being said, the agenda of today is really to look at Dynamics 365, not just on its own, but how it also relates to other stack of Microsoft technologies. And you're going to be discussing on how those moving parts will end up, making your businesses or your operations, for those that are employed, to be much more effective. Okay, how can you squeeze that level of, should I say, efficiency or productivity out of your operations or processes? Of course, is by using business applications. And as we talk about business applications today, we're going to, try and refer it to our day-to-day activities to see what we can learn and how we can apply some of these things to enable our processes be more effective. Our focus, or should I say my focus, in my demonstrations and my presentation will be in the customer service industry. However, the conversation can then, of course, grow to other industries as well in terms of what can be done. So it's going to be very, very interesting. We'll be discussing about an end-to-end process, which of course, can then morph into other conversations that we will have before the demonstration. And then, of course, at the end of the day, we'll see or we'll discuss based on the demonstration how Power BI can be used to drive change within a business. Okay, moving on. All right, so I'm going to, first of all, talk about all these technologies for a bit. Microsoft Dynamics 365 is the primary reason why we are here. And what it is a suite of technologies, okay, that helps with customer engagement, financial operations, logistics operations, and then supply chain management, okay? And that's what comes out of the box. You can also develop your own solutions as well using the common data service technology within the Microsoft Dynamics 365 space. I apologize if that sounds like gibberish right now, but follow me along and you might have an idea as to what we're talking about when I show you a couple of things on the solution. So now, in order for us to actually, ensure that our end-to-end process is complete, Microsoft Dynamics 365 is not really on its own. We now have to talk about things like Power Automate. Now, imagine a situation whereby you have an approval process within your organization. You drop memos on tables after work has been done. So from the accountant, it takes a memo, sends it to IT, IT says that memo, sends it to HR, HR takes that memo, sends it to sends it back to accounts, and accounts sends it to the CEO to do paperwork, printing, photocopying, stapling, all that mess. Okay, what if that can be automated? What if each approvals can be automated, time-stamped, okay, for you to be able to know the effectiveness of each process? So if a process of paper moving about, some can even get lost in transit, takes, say, 4 days. Whose table did it last the most? You would not know based on a paper trail. However, assuming it was technologically inclined in terms of emails popping on everybody's, should I say, mailbox to say, this is the issue that needs to be approved, approve it. You click approve within the email. And then it moves to the next person's email. And then no matter where they are, they don't need to come to the office and start searching their individual case files to find out those particular memos. Okay, so Power Automate really does automate all this, should I say, manual things, and also helps to shorten the time, okay, that you'd rather spend on manual activities. That's for Microsoft Power Automate, which I'll be showing you, of course, today. Microsoft Forms is just like your Google Forms or Microsoft Forms or whatever forms that you're using out there to take in data. It's really simple. And the use of this is, say, for example, you want to collate complaints from your end customers. You can embed such forms in your website, okay? Or you want to do a poll, or you want to do a survey, or how well you did. These are what the forms are for, and it's very, it's a cheap technology. I think it's free as well, that you can use to really like get feedback from your customers, okay? And we'll be discussing about that as well later on. So Microsoft Outlook, it's an email engine. Of course, communication is the most important thing when you look at operations. Operations cannot survive without collaboration and communication. So whatever it is that is being done on the business applications needs to be communicated to the, should I say, operatives, so that they know what to do next. Okay. Then of course, last but not the least is the Microsoft Power BI. Microsoft Power BI is a visualization tool for data. Data has already been modeled in majority of all these applications. And then what you want to do now is this data that has been modeled, crunched, gathered, analyzed, or whatever it is that has been done on those applications. You want to be able to make good business intelligence out of that. You want to be able to say, because of this data, let me decide on what to do next, or let me do this, let me do that, let me put more money here, let me reduce money here. All those kind of information or intelligence that will enable you to make good decisions on businesses or on the data that you have. Pretty much that's what Microsoft Power BI is all about. Now, there are a lot more Microsoft technologies that, of course, intertwine, but for today, let's just focus on this. And of course, hopefully, if the opportunity arises, another webinar will look at more. Let's go to the next page, please. Now, we have this process, and of course, I would like to invite the panelists to also dissect this process with me in terms of what goes on in today's space. So the problem statement is this: majority of companies in the customer service space don't have good solutions that enable excellent customer engagement. I can remember a particular conversation where a friend of mine or a colleague of mine was having this complaint that he complained to a particular organization about something. He was being transferred from one place to the other, and all the time that he complained, he always had to repeat himself over and over again. It's like they did not have a platform where they recorded his complaints and thus making him more irate. He eventually left that particular business. Okay. So the problem statement here is not good enough customer engagement from the Nigerian industry as it stands, at least majority of them. Customers being left in limbo when it comes to their services. Okay, and of course, lack of automation within the businesses to know or to be able to at least engage their customers with some automation in order to calm them down and increase their loyalty, to at least know that, okay, fine, yes, I'm being attended to. So I'll leave the floor open now for conversation on this problem statement. Olumide, do you have anything to add to this?
Hello,
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you very much for your time, Remy. And just to add to what you said, the process of using Dynamics 365 for customer service is a one-stop gap with helping your customers feel appreciated and feel involved, and at the same time helping you as a business have a real data insight to how many users make inquiry and how to help you know how best to serve your customers. So I think it's a fantastic solution and it's a problem solver, which is the core reason behind it. And I hope that, after this webinar, to encourage most of us to start asking questions and start having researches on how to use it and make it happen. Thank you so much, eh?
All right. Okay, thank you, Olumide. Any other additions to this?
Okay, on my side, I think just to reiterate the point around putting your customers at the center of your business and making sure that their sentiments or their their feedback, or their complaints are being driven to the next level. Most customers want an organization that is active and that is agile. Not necessarily the fact that you are solving the problem that is more important. What is important is that you are keeping them informed every step of the way. And I think that is also very, very appreciated by most customers. Second of all, as well, there's a feedback that says feedback is a gift. So we need to take those feedbacks and have a platform that can then do something with it. I think that's where my own addition comes in. Thank you.
Okay, just to add to what Mohammed said, with Dynamics 365 CRM, you are able to be more proactive rather than reactive, in the sense that you continuously have insight into your customers' business, and you're able to give them or guide them how to can better work on their businesses and all of that. So I believe Dynamics 365 CRM is very, very important to businesses. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. So the solution that we're now thinking to solve this issue of should I say lack of customer engagement within this particular company that refuses to engage with their customer is to create a web form. Okay, a web form that their customers can use to complain easily rather than call in, which of course is popular, right? But again, that can now transcend to, should I say, Microsoft Dynamics 365 Omnichannel, where you can actually call in with a web chat or send information to Dynamics 365 using Facebook, WhatsApp, I believe. I think that has been granted now too. So although we're not looking at Omnichannel today, but that also is one of the tools within Microsoft Dynamics that you can use to get information from your customers. However, for today, we'll be talking about web forms. So today, this web form was embedded in an Azure website, and this customer now fills the form. Now, there are several automations that would be helping this business, okay, to communicate and pass data, which I'll show you. And then, of course, Dynamics 365 will house and analyze this complaint, okay, via the help of the administrator. It's not automatic 100%. You could make it automatic, however, that will increase the level of automation, and probably a lot of people will lose their jobs. But anyways, let's just imagine that an agent would be the one using Dynamics 365 to analyze the complaint based on, should I say, established company standard. Again, some people can go off doing their own thing without actually knowing exactly what to do. Microsoft Dynamics 365 has the tools to enable us create business processes or business process flows that will allow agents to then follow set down standards to solving issues within the organization. Of course, that data then is now used by analyzed using Power BI to drive the kind of change towards a better organization. Okay, moving on. Okay, all right. In learning, you teach, and in teaching, you learn. So I'll hand over to the panelists here.
Okay, thank you very much, Remy, for this. This is very important, introduction to allow the audience to be able to follow through the topic of today, which is Microsoft Dynamics, a business-driven approach. Let me just reflect a little bit. In case you are just joining now, the problem we have we started with a problem statement that asks several questions around how you engage or how your customers engage with your business, and how do they how are they able to complain or to give you feedback. We noted again, Remy noted the end-to-end process that needs to be put in place, how the customer would engage and give you feedback using the complaint form. You also talked about how then several automation could then be embedded so that several decisions can be taken on how best to serve customer. And then finally, the ability to then be able to use the BI to enhance the decision making or to drive the process further. So we're going to continue now with the discussion, just to make sure that we carry through on the discussion. So I will now be calling on the panel members to talk about the topic. But before we do so, we have a very short poll for you to take before we go into the panel discussion. So please continue to participate and continue to engage on the webinar. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much for participating in that short poll. We will now go into the panel discussion, and we will take a few questions. So please, as well, if you have any question that you would like to ask, please post it on the Q&A section of this webinar, and then we'll do our best to take it as we go along. So I would like to call on Vivian to take this first question, which is around what is Microsoft Dynamics 365 Dynamics? What are the best features of the solution? Thank you, Vivian.
Good day, everyone, from wherever you're connecting from. It's a joy to be part of this webinar. Thank you for this opportunity as well, and thank you for the question asked. What is Microsoft Dynamics 365 Dynamics, and what are the best features? From the presentation, thank you very much, Aderemi, for doing justice to that presentation and for the contributors from the other panelists. I can say that Microsoft Dynamics, going from what the presentations was brought to us, is a cloud-based business application platform, that combines components of customer relationship management and then enterprise resource planning, along with productivity applications and artificial intelligence. The productivity applications like we just saw before the problem statement, where the presenter Aderemi was mentioning the Power BI, the Outlook, the email, that's the Office 365 applications. So, and in the context of today's webinar, data-driven, a lot of businesses have lost potential clients. They've also lost even their prospects because they don't make industry decisions based on data. But had it been they are aware of this cloud enterprise platform that allows them to have the components of their customer relationship, this data would help them make business decisions that will drive their establishments for them. For instance, you open a restaurant in a particular location, and that location is probably a residential area. And that residential area is usually where the residents themselves, they have a white-collar job they do out in the city. And then you're complaining, you're not sure why your business is not thriving. You're not sure why the business is not doing so well. But had it been you got data, had it been you have a tool that used to manage this your restaurant, to know the number of people that come, at what point in time they normally come, and then you're able to visualize it. When you've analyzed this data, you visualize it with the other tool, Power BI tool that Aderemi mentioned, you'll be able to see that, okay, usually in the morning between 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., you usually do not have customer, and your food would have been getting sour, or it won't be as fresh again. It's usually in the evening, and it's usually bachelors that come around. You now know, wow, okay, this is my residence area. I think most of the people here, they work far in the city. That will give you that business decision and intelligence that will tell you, okay, let me move over to where this my customers are. It's only wise that you take your business out to where the people are, So that's in trying to explain what this tool does. Then talking about the features, like you heard, the features are inexhaustible. From the two terms mentioned from the definition, the CRM, the customer relationship management, and the enterprise resource planning. You can simplify these features by saying that it has the feature of giving you customer insights, customer data from what this platform will help you gather this data from your customers and then give you the right insight that will help you drive a better business decision. Customer service, you saw the problem statement that we already had. It's all centered around customer service. The field service itself. And like when Mohammed was trying to throw more light on the problem statement, he said something. He said, it's not about you solving the problem, but it's about that human feeling. Of course, we all know that artificial intelligence has taken over right now. So everyone now, you don't need a physical person. I mean, people are being laid off their jobs because they don't need you to be physically there. However, you can decide to distinguish your business by applying this Dynamic 365. That's what will now help to bring the human interface between you and your business. For instance, let's say your business has to do with, you're a cobbler or you fix shoes, and then a customer walks into your shop and then mistakenly, while trying to try on the shoe that you just fixed for him, steps on you. You just tell the person, sorry. That's like a bot. That's like AI. You have been customized to say sorry. Then another customer steps on another person's foot, and then the person said, "Oh, sorry. I hope you're not hurt." Now you are applying human. You're being human in this discussion. That's what Dynamics 365 does. It makes you have a feeling of your customers that will help you drive your business better. We have other features like finance and operations, marketing, retail, sales, talent. There are so many. I mean, there are just so many features that this Office 365 has and presents to you. So I can say that Office 365 features cannot be exhausted. When a presenter was presenting, he said something about also interfacing other applications, and we all saw it. He mentioned the Outlook, the Word, the most widely used word application, and it's used everywhere, both at home as a consumer, both in the office, both as a business, whatsoever. You use Word, and most people to use Outlook. I know there are people that still use the generic Gmail and all that, but you'll agree with me that if you are into business and someone sends you a business proposal using the generic Gmail and another sends you with a customized domain name, I don't need to ask you who you would think is a serious business person here. So these are basically part of the features that we enjoy from Dynamics 365. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vivian, for that. What Microsoft has done, just in addition, is they've given us the powerful platform, right, that are suitable for enterprises that small and medium business can then use. So understanding how to navigate and how to use some of these applications is very, very important for your business. Taking a keen interest in understanding how this feature works as well, how this application works, is very important. And sorry, I like that the use of the sorry, because I think you are absolutely right. We're actually wired to just say sorry immediately. Which is a very interesting addition that you made there. So just moving on to the next question. This question, I'll just call on Oyidamola to respond to this question. What is the difference between Microsoft 365 and Dynamics 365? I think this is just to make sure that we have, we understand, what the differences are. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mohammed. Before I answer this question, I'd like to state categorically that Office 365 and Dynamics are two different products, but both of these products are not supplementary, because you cannot supplement one for the other. But both of them are complementary in the sense that one helps, one aids the other. So both of them work in hand. Having said that, Microsoft 365 is a productivity suite that allows you to run your business from anywhere and at every point in time, because you have all the products that you need to be innovative, all the innovative applications that you need to work from anywhere and at every point in time. You have your Microsoft Teams that allows you to reach out to your customers, have meetings with them without having to be in their office physically. So you are able to have meetings with them, you're able to talk to them, you're able to collaborate on so many applications, and collaboration makes work faster. Imagine having 2 or 3 people working on the same document at the same time. You can imagine how fast that would be to deliver to your client. So with Microsoft 365, you have so many applications that can help you or aid your business to grow. For example, you have your planner that can help you to segment day by day what you need to do, what each person in the company or what each person in the enterprise needs to do. You have your shifts that can also aid you. You have so many applications that Microsoft 365 offers you. So I can just say that this is your productivity solution on one end. So this helps you to drive your business, and Microsoft 365 also has the security part of it, which makes it easier, because we all know that as business owners, security is very paramount. So with Microsoft 365, you have access to productivity and security. While Dynamics, on the other hand, is a set of intelligent business application that helps you to run your entire business. Like Vivian said earlier, imagine having your business. For example, now you have your Microsoft Excel. Let me just use Microsoft Excel as an example, which is the Microsoft productivity. So you have Microsoft Excel where you have your data, and you're able to analyze your data using the Microsoft Excel functionality tools. But with integrating it with your Dynamics 365, you are now able to generate reports automatically, as long as your data is still as long as your data is still connected in the Excel. So Dynamics 365 helps you to run predictive analysis. For example, from your email, from your Outlook, you're able to say, okay, this particular customer sent me email at this point in time. You're able to analyze, okay, how does this person respond to email? You're now able to use that to now use your artificial intelligence to now have more insight into how to respond to your customers, from the sales perspective, from the marketing perspective, from operations and all of that. So you're able to build your business using the Microsoft 365 and other business platforms like your Azure, like your Power platforms and all of them. So Microsoft 365 and Dynamics are two different products entirely, but both of them work in hand to give you the best that you can at every point in time. So that's just what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Oyindamola, for that. We will now be going to the next question, and I think this is very relevant. I would like to call on Vivian again. How can startup benefit from Microsoft Dynamics, Microsoft 365 Dynamics? Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much again for having me. Startups. I believe this has already been addressed by some of these explanations. The trying to differentiate between Dynamics 365 and Office 365 that Oyindamola just enlightened us on. From her explanations, you can see that Microsoft Dynamics 365 is not just for large established enterprises. You know, there are other benefits, extraordinary benefits, you know, that small businesses can and startups can benefit from. From the discussions that have been making the rounds today, we can see how it improves customer retention. By the time your customer feels that interaction with you, there's no way the customer will not feel stayed on you. By the time you use from the program segment we had, by the time you use your Microsoft, the forms to gather the data from your customer, the kind of survey or pool, and then tell them about the services, they tell you about the defect, they tell you about how it hasn't helped them and how it has helped them. That would make you retain these customers. You know, apart from the retention, it also helps you in managing your talents. You know, for startups, as you're beginning your business, you may be hunting between, oh, how do I onboard my staff? How do I get this done? How do I get this? How can I plan this product? How can I have this service or solution? How can I reach out to those people? These are all the beautiful things the Dynamics does. So for a startup, it's just for you to put the right tools in place, and then you go ahead and sleep, and then you get your returns on investment. So it increases your sales efficiency, because by the time you automate, these things are seemingly automated. By the time all these lean startups, they instead of chasing their leads and procuring the sales with a lean team and all that, they have all this dynamics. It empowers them. They reach out to more leads even in less time. I know I already mentioned it, and that's the reason I said this has already been taken care of for startups. So it helps integrate software solutions. Oyindamola exhausted this. She told us that they are not, they are different, but they complement each other. They complement their tasks and their services. So are you an entrepreneur there in whatever sector, in whatever type of line of business? Are you an entrepreneur and you're considering maybe a bootstrapping or starting up? Bootstrapping is like complementing yourself. For instance, you're selling akara, and then that person is selling agege bread or whatever kind of bread. The person selling akara, you can see that he makes sales. You just don't bootstrap with him by carrying your agege bread or your bread and go and sit beside the person. The tendency that as a startup, the person that someone buys akara here, the person will not have to go further looking for where to buy bread. And even if it never came to the person's mind that you can complement akara with bread, your presence there would inside the person to now decide to pick up the bread from you. So if you're considering that bootstrapping or a startup, or you've even received your first round of your venture capital, your funding, your business needs to go to the next level. That's just the truth. So you start off by having these software applications in place. That will help you even in your talent-wise. I mean, recruiting your human resources that you need. They can see that there is a system in place, and then it will give you peace of mind because the systems are there. You don't have to chase after anyone to get things going. You don't have to chase after the processes that the system is there. It's just for you to know how to use it and then use it appropriately for your business. So for startups, we can see that there are a whole lot you can benefit from. That we are having this webinar today online, not on site, is made possible by technology, by this dynamism from what we hear from the topic we are discussing today. And it came because of the data we gathered. We have data that, wow, now movement ban has been lifted, but yet there's still fear in the land. There's still insecurity, that feeling that, oh, so from that data, Microsoft saw this ahead of time and they came up with all those platforms. So as a startup, Microsoft Dynamics 365 is not something that you need to rethink about adopting or not adopting from the discussions that have made the rounds today. And I hope I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that for startups, we really need to embrace Dynamics. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Vivian. I would like at this point now to call on Remy to take on this question. Can Microsoft Dynamics 365 be integrated with marketing automation solutions? What are the intelligent tools available with Microsoft Dynamics 365? Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, this is a very, very great question. Microsoft Dynamics 365 actually has a marketing aspect of it. It's called Microsoft Dynamics 365 Marketing, which allows for you to have a web portal where your customers can go see things, give their own, should I say, interests, which of course will then make them leads for you to continue your sales process with. Also, there is integration with majority of the marketing tools. I'm not 100% sure, but I think there is an ongoing integration with Instagram, Facebook, MailChimp, which is used for email blasting, and I think Adobe Marketing just secured a partnership with Microsoft to help in sense of course, being able to segmentize customer details and being able for you to, focus your campaigns to the right segments based on the details that are available. An interesting one is that Microsoft too, in a sense, has also allowed, not just for marketing in terms of giving the information out to people that, okay, do you know what, this is what we sell? What do you think about it? Microsoft has not just allowed us to use its own first-party tools and third-party tools to, of course, disseminate this information to the public. When customers, or should I say when leads respond to that data, Microsoft has come up with something called Microsoft Customer Insights, where it gathers all interactions of your customers on the different networks or the different portals that you have and aggregates all of their interactions under one profile. So not just that, okay, let me explain. So imagine this, you have a website or 3 websites, okay, that customers are going to, because a website for your product, a website for your customer service issues, and another website to manage loyalty, for example, okay? So rather than have different profiles for the customers on these 3 websites, in Customer Insights, you can bring all of your customer interactions on these 3 web portals under one customer, under one timeline, which is fantastic, because when they say, okay, fine, how well is this customer is engaging with us from our marketing campaigns, then you can then go into all your web portals. The information about that customer gets pulled up, and then you can see those insights to see, okay, fine, the customer has only been complaining, he has not joined our loyalty program. Why don't we send a campaign for him to join our loyalty program, probably giving him, say, for example, 10,000 naira for him being a loyal customer all this while, and also to make him feel better since he has been complaining for a couple of months. That way, I've made a decision based on the data that I have. So the information is there. I mean, I can spend all day talking about it, but because of our time, let me just stop here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Remy, for that. We would now be moving to the next question, but before I do, I just have a short comment. Also, just to add to the imagine that Remy talked about, right? He talked about imagine if you have 3 websites that you need to manage, or 3 information sources where your customers give you information. But again, imagine if you are running a 24/7 business, right? And you have to respond to customers as well. You having it automated might help you reduce your resources. So you don't need to have shift workers, meaning that this person will work morning, the other person will work afternoon, and the next person will work night shift. You can actually automate some of your processes that might be repeated during those hours as well, so that it saves you the resourcing, but it still keeps you efficient because you can still respond, especially if it is urgent, right? If it's an urgent request. So let's move on to the next question. We will now be calling on Aisha Bello to respond to this question, which is around what is Microsoft Dynamics 365 used for? So it's very important just to hear from another perspective as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Muhammad. Good morning, everyone. So going to answer this question, what is Microsoft Dynamics 365 used for? So given the dynamic nature of businesses and the likelihood of unique situations, I think it is becoming more and more important software or solution providers to introduce applications that will cater for all of their changing trend. So I think Dynamics 365 is a comprehensive suite of services enabling all-in-one solution, so that you don't have to start thinking on how you're going to pick or choose from a plethora of so many options that you have available. So therefore, Microsoft Dynamics 365 can be used for the following purposes. So first of all, it can be used in bringing your business together as a cohesive unit, in the sense that it will help you in connecting people, processes, and data across many applications, such as Microsoft Dynamics 365, Office 365, So
So also we have the LinkedIn and the Azure services. Secondly, Microsoft Dynamics 365 can be used in helping to make smarter decisions with built-in artificial intelligence, analytics, and it can also help you in getting a guided action suggestions. So, however, it can also be used in adapting the application to your needs rather than changing your business methodology. So it will help you to achieve that. And you can integrate most applications with existing systems or even customize with Microsoft Power Platform. So Microsoft Dynamics 365 can actually help you to achieve that. And it can also help you, and or let me say it can also be useful in modernizing your approach by incorporating artificial intelligence, mixed reality, social and mobile capabilities, for progressive business innovation. So I think the already mentioned purposes on how or where the Microsoft Dynamics 365 can be used. I think it is a robust OEM, you understand, that can allow you to have integration with other OEMs, and this will be enable you to cater for all of your business needs, and it can also make you to subscribe. I think these purposes are sufficient to enable you to subscribe into using it, because it can help you to do a whole lot of things. And so I think these purposes or these uses are enough to make you to subscribe into using Microsoft Dynamics 365 for your business, because Microsoft Dynamics 365 is an application that works seamlessly. It works seamlessly together for a comprehensive solution that runs your entire business, including sales, marketing, service operations, and commerce. So using Microsoft Dynamics 365, it can allow you to get a 360 degrees, you understand? Let me put it this way, a 360-degree view of your organization, so that you can uncover the real-time insights for better results. So I think this is what I have for you this morning. Thank you so much. Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you very much for the explanation and just bringing more clarity from your perspective, the use of Microsoft Dynamics 365. So at this juncture again, I would like to call on Vivian to just take a look at this question, and let's just discuss it quickly. So which is, as professionals, how can I take this training further? Thank you.
Thanks again for this opportunity. As a professional, how can I take this further? I would simply say, you want to take the training further, get to the right resources that have the industry experience for some tutor-based training. I know we have a lot of self-paced trainings out there, yes. However, you can compare it with when you have an instructor-led, someone that can give you a guideline. You might have been seeing Dynamics 365 here and there before today, but today you're getting a better perspective. You're seeing it from a better light on how dynamic, as the name implies, it is, and how flexible as well it is. And I tell you, it's not even as expensive as you might be thinking. So for you to take it further, look for a Microsoft partner like you can get this training from, hands-on. And then the learning space, that's what we do in the learning space. When introduction was going on, Mohammed mentioned that the learning space is a capacity building company that is into ICT trainings. So we partner with most OEMs, most of original equipment manufacturers to deliver on this capacity building. So you can reach out to us after now, and we could walk you through on how you would begin, and then we are sure that you'll be the better for it with your certification as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vivian, for that response. That's fantastic. I will now be calling on Olumide for this question. Or also if Onyi can also support the question as well. What is the process of implementing Microsoft 365 Dynamics for small and medium business? Thank you. Okay, hi Remy. So I don't know if you can take this question. Thank you.
All right, so what's the process of implementing Microsoft Dynamics 365 for small and medium businesses? Okay, so the first thing is this. You always need a business analyst who comes into your business to take your requirements. You need to be sure of what you want to use your Dynamics 365 for, because it's so big, you might get lost within its suite of, should I say, features. What you need is to figure out what you want. Is it that you just want to be able to manage case tickets better? Or you want to be able to, engage your customers on LinkedIn better, turn them into your sales leads, and to follow up, of course, on those opportunities to then end up in sales orders? Or do you just want to implement the financial module, whether it is the Business Central or the Finance and Operations suite? Do you want to be able to use it to, manage your finance and accounting properly, depending on your pocket? Also, you need to figure out your budget, because not all Microsoft Dynamics 365 suites are meant for all pockets. I'll just say that now as a professional. However, if you can streamline your requirements, it will go a long way. After the requirement has been gotten and everything is okay, you go on, you pay for your licenses, and then, of course, it is implemented by Dynamics 365 Professional. I would always advise that you don't always go for the certificates, rather go for experience. Someone that has been able to implement it, and you can get references from the businesses that he has implemented for to see how well they are going on their own implementation. Very important, very, very crucial. Then ensure that you have your documentation in regards to your requirements, so that when you test, you can mark what has been built against what you have. We can mark it against what you have actually built, right? So, and hopefully you then ensure that you have a good support. There's Microsoft support that you can access always if you have any issues. And if you want something that is a bit more, should I say, streamlined, then you can get your own private support, or even an employed person that implemented it for you to support you for post-implementation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Remy, for that. I think you mentioned very, very key points around making sure that you follow a professional deployment approach, and you understand that you document your requirement, and also you ensure that your requirements are traceable, right? So that you could measure at the end of the day, so that you can actually get value for your investment. So I will now be taking a short poll, a very short poll in preparation for our demo, right? And preparation for our demo session. So in this demo session, we're going to make it very interactive. The panel members are going to be engaging in the demo sessions as well, just to make sure that we can get some engagement going. But also, please, if you have any questions, post it in the Q&A. What we'll do is that as well, as the demo is going on, if the questions are relevant for the demo, we would ask it directly to Remy and also to the panelists, so that they can take it practically as well during the demo session. Another question that I would like for Remy to pack is the question around security, right? I would just like Remy to talk about security when he's going through the demo session. So just to talk about the different levels of security access, and also for the roles of for Microsoft Dynamics 365 and how they differ, right? So anyways, Remy will just touch on the security element of Microsoft Dynamics, and also can also touch on how it differs with or how it relates with Microsoft 365 core. So we're going to do a very short poll, and then we move into a demo session. Thank you.
All right. So remember our process flow. We want to have an avenue for our customers to be able to access the solution. We want our customers to be able to drop in data. We want to be able to get that data, get some automation going. And of course, we want our data to then be used to make some decisions on what exactly we want to change within the application, or should I say we want to change within our business processes. Okay, that being said, let me just go into the demonstration really. So this is a website. We call it the webinar complaint site, just to allow us be in tune with what we're talking about. So this was built, this website was actually built within 15 minutes, and this was done through Microsoft Azure. So I can actually spin up a should I say WordPress site, and it will have its own database and its own setup, and it's all hosted here within Microsoft Azure. And it gives me a URL, sorry, it gives me a URL here that I can then go to access my dummy website to use today. Now, this particular aspect of the website was embedded using an iframe HTML tag, and I can then show this to my customer. So this is live. If you typed this right now, riche@azurewebsites.net, you will be able to see it now as I speak. Okay, and you'll be able to submit complaints. So if any of our should I say audiences, if you want to take it for a spin, I'll give you say some seconds to see this. See this link. Just go there and dump your complaints, whatever it is that you want to put it there, so that we can have even more data to play around with. Okay, so now I have come to this site. I have an issue with my tires, okay? Because they are these webinar people, they are tire makers. So they sold me a tire, and my tire got, should I say, got issues within 2 weeks of using those tires, and I'm upset about it. So I can come here to say, all right, my name is Sam Remy. How do I want to be reached via telephone? I can put my telephone number to be 08044444444, and then of course say my email address is a@b.com. Just saying. All right, so my nature of complaint is I bought my tire. 2 weeks ago, and now it's kaput. And I say, what's my complaint about? The product. Okay, so with this form, I'm able to create some fields. I can put in information and it drop down to select some choices. Okay, a lot more can be done. Okay, however, I just kept it simple, and then of course I can submit. All right, it tells me webinar limited complaint. All right, thanks. Your response will be submitted. Okay, so now after this is done, I'm expecting an action. Okay, right on time, I got an email. Okay. This email. So basically, you see this MOD administrator, this is maybe the boss of the organization or the person that is supposed to tend to this issue. Okay, so it goes to that person and it goes, of course, to the customer. A@b.com is a fake website, a fake email, so it probably would not, should I say, work, but then I'd already made, should I say, contingencies. So now I got this email saying that, hi, Sam Remy, I am sorry that you had this experience. It's important for us to tend to complain product issues. We acknowledge that we failed based on your comments below. I bought my tire 2 weeks ago and now it's kaput. You know, I've actually sent this email and this is what your customer can get. Okay, and this will at least let me know that my issue is being taken into consideration. But there's a lot of things that went on to get this email out here and a lot of things that have been done. So what actually sent this email, because this is just a form, what sent this email, ladies and gentlemen, is what I call Power Automate. Power Automate is an automation technology that has access to over 390 something connections. Okay, now let us look at all the connectors that are available. As you can see, Outlook, SharePoint, Twitter. Okay, which other one? Forms. So I connected this Power Automate between Outlook and Forms, and of course Dynamics 365. Okay, which is here. And you see GitHub that is here, Google Drive, you know, a lot, and I mean a lot of technology. Yeah, here. Even LinkedIn is here. There's the marketing, Content Hub. MailChimp is here in regards to the marketing integrations that we're talking about. So enough of the expose. Now let us go into, should I say, the particular flow that was created. Let me just save this. Moment. Correct. Sorry. All right, that's fine. Let me just go back. Okay. All right. So, okay, I can see that a lot of people have started putting in information. That's good. Thank you very much. So now, let's edit this for me to show you exactly how I was able to, create the process or the automation. So I added this connector. This is what you call a trigger. I added this. Of course, this is a demonstration. It's not a training. So if you want to learn how to do Power Automate, you'd have to meet up with our training partner so that you know how well to use Power Automate, because it's the future. So you have, when a new response is submitted, of course, remember the form ID is webinar limited complaints, if you remember what it was. And then, of course, we then have a process here to say get response, KYC, and complaint details. Okay. If there's any developer that's amongst us, this is the code that we would have had to program. But instead, everything has been simplified for us by Microsoft so that even somebody like me that does not know how to code can actually do API calls. So I'm doing an API call basically between Microsoft Forms, Dynamics 365, and Outlook. Okay, so here, one of the rules before I'm able to create a case is I have to have a contact. So based on the KYC details here, I put in the last name, the email, the first name, the description, and of course the mobile phone number, so that I'm able to create, okay, the contact that's actually explaining, so that I can even follow up and perhaps even sell to that contact later. Then, based on that contact, I'm now able to create what you call a case. So you see I have my environment here, entity, I made sure I named it a case. Like I said, this is not a training, so I'm not going to go in depth, but just want to show you that a lot of things went into the creation of the process. All right. And then, of course, who is the creator of this case, or who is this case pointing to? And of course, the contact from here. Okay. And for this Power Automate, one cool thing about it is you can use dynamic data, or should I say changing data, data that changes. I can use changing data from a particular action card here to form an input here. The information from these first two can form an input into here. The information from the first three can form an input here. The information from these four can now form a total input here. Okay, so this, of course, now allows us to have a process. So rather than me employing somebody to be reviewing all of the complaints sent to a particular Excel sheet, and then analyzing that Excel sheet to then create a contact and then create a case, and then now saying that person should be sending emails to all the customers, I have removed all of that stress just from this process. So I want you to imagine what is happening here. I have removed the job of so many admins just from doing this. Okay, or not removed, should I say I've reduced their jobs, because all they now have to do is focus on resolving the issue rather than talking to the customer. You know, so then, of course, they asked a question that, how can we automate a complete automation? Now, what if after this first email, nobody sends an email again? What you can do is you can have a delay, okay, to say delay until, I don't know, any date here, okay. So let's just say 2000, say we can use what you call expressions, okay, to say add days, should I say timestamp as one moment. Like I said, this is a demo. For those that are wanting me to explain in depth, that might not be too possible. However, you can learn this from your training partner. So I can add the date here. So created, come on. All right. So I can have created on when this was created, and add 3 days to it. Okay. So now this takes the information from here now and say, okay, add 3 days to the date that this contact was created. Okay. So delay this until then, and then the new step would be maybe a condition. Say, for example, you can say a condition that if the case status so if this case status is not resolved, then you can as well send what? An email. All right, so I won't go into the specifics of that now, but you can see that here you've even created what you call an escalation to say delay until 3 days. So after 3 days of this being created, if this has not been resolved, you can escalate to his manager. So
okay, so I think just to add to what you are saying, I think that are we able to, what will happen if we change the condition to if status is not equals to, right, resolved, because you want to get everything that is probably open, right?
Yeah, So basically, if you say it's not equal to resolved, what will happen is the branch is what will be affected. Okay, because this is true or false.
Okay, got it.
So this will then have to come, sorry, this will then have to come here, or I can create another action here to say if I send an email, but still, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, so now, yeah, so now I'm not going to save this. Okay, it's just an expose, just to show you exactly what is possible. So I created a particular item. So let's go into Dynamics to see what has happened when this was done. So now this.
Hello, Remy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, please. Let me ask you before you move to Dynamics. When you escalate to his manager because it's not equal to resolved, and what if it gets to the manager and it takes a while? Are you able to escalate to the next person too? I'm trying to ask if you can use this Power Automate to maybe create an escalation matrix somehow.
All right. So you can have, well, optimally, based on my experience with the solution, it's best not to have more than 50 line items. So this is just, by the time we were done, I think we were created 10. So you can see that we can create even more escalations afterwards. Or we can even have another, should I say, flow or workflow to detect if a particular case has not been resolved, maybe at the end of every working day. List all of the cases and find the ones that are not resolved and escalate them. There's a lot of things you can do, but it depends on business requirements.
Okay. So if a company provides different services, are they able to edit this particular flow to suit the other service?
Of course.
Or they have to start creating a okay, perfect.
Yeah, because you can actually copy this flow, or you can save this flow as another flow, and then therefore not should I say, meddling with the integrity of this particular one. Okay, and then you can then edit that one to suit your needs. So you don't always have to start from scratch.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much.
No problem. And I'm not sure whether it was Vivian, okay, or one of the other panelists, but they did mention something about the Power Platform. This Power Automate, Power Apps, Dynamics 365, and Power BI, they are part and parcel of the Power Platform, and they are all connected using the common data service. If you want to know what this means, please make sure you meet our training partner. So going forward, now let me introduce you to Dynamics 365. Okay, so let me click on this. So Dynamics 365, like I said, is a suite of solutions. Okay, that has that has applications to deal with field services, customer services, omni-channel, which is communicating to your customer via different channels: web, email, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, web chats. Okay, you can do your project services here, where your customer, after they've actually gone through a particular sale, you can then say, okay, do you know what? Let me then continue that particular project delivery or service delivery for you. This can be done here. I'm not speaking about ITIL though, just the project work. That's what I'm talking about. You can also do resource scheduling in terms of your resources and how they do work orders, And then, of course, you can create your own custom applications, which is fantastic. But what we are talking about is customer service, so we'll leave it at that. So with the customer service, we have a couple of applications here that we can use. So basically, we are here where, of course, we look at about our customers. The customer service cannot survive without the customers, and we have different customer types. We have organizations, and then we have individuals. That's what this covers. And then, of course, we have case, and of course, the queues that the team members within the organization go to actually pick cases from. So we have reports, we have knowledge articles to help, should I say, our customers to, how do I put it, to help quicken the pace at which the staff resolve cases. Okay, that's what knowledge articles are meant for. So if I refresh this, I believe, all right, I can see Indamola, Lalikon, Annabelle, and Namide, they've created their own complaints. Thank you so much. And then, of course, if you can see, it says the origin is the web. So this is also fantastic in the sense that you can use this in your data analysis. Okay, now let's go into Annabelle's complaint. So now this has come to me. I am the agent, okay, that is working with the Dynamics 365 customer service suite. So right now, I know that this case has been active for 17 minutes. So you can imagine when somebody now comes in, let me expand this a bit more. Okay, I believe this is enough. So you can imagine this has been active for 18 minutes and it's counting. So the question is this: if I leave this hanging for one day and I'm still at this level of identifying the issue, what would that mean for me as a staff? It should mean trouble, okay? And now I have this contact name, meaning that if there are other things that I want to do with this particular contact, like sending the marketing campaign, this data is here for me to work on later. Now, this is the case title. I have a case number for her. This is the complaint that she had. Of course, this is her issue. So of course, I can now say, oh, she has an issue accessing the internet. I wonder what that is. So I can actually say, okay, let me then give her a phone call, or let me set a task, or let me even say, do you know what? Let me book an activity for her, or let's just have a conversation with another person. So these are different activities. So I can just write a simple note to say, okay, Annabeth cannot access his internet. Call NOC to find out if there is downtime. Point. Add notes. So anybody that comes here to then take the case, because I can transfer this case to someone else to say, okay, I want another person to be the owner of this case, all right? And then the person will come in and see my note here to say that, okay, it can't access the internet, So he has called the knock to find out the downtime. Okay, I can then call this guy, MA, to say, I'm not administrator. How far? What did NOC say? Have they been able to find out what happened to this particular the knock? Is it a knock issue? Or could it be that the customer just have an issue with his modem? No, things like that. All right. And this is just identifying the issue. If I'm able to find out that is a knock issue, what I can do all right. Okay. What I can do is I can move to the next stage here. So I don't even need to think too much. Everything is here for me. I know that, okay, fine. This person has internet issues. I'm in the research stage. I already know what the issue is. And then all I just need to do right now is to see how I can resolve the issue. Okay. And once I'm able to resolve the issue for Aniebet, Nnamdi, then I finish. So that way there is a standard across the entire organization to ensure that everybody is doing the right things on the project. And I'm sure that I will receive a lot of kudos for being able to complete this person's issue within 22 minutes. Okay? And there's a lot more information, like I can have the case details here to see everybody. I can develop what you call an SLA to say that, okay, that I should have responded to this issue by so time, or I should have resolved this issue by so time, depending on the kind of SLA. This person, it could be that you have services based on subscription to say, okay, I'll resolve 15 issues for you in a month as long as you pay me 50,000 naira. And then you'll be able to reduce the entitlement of this particular customer as you resolve the cases. You can also have a line here to say whether this issue has been escalated or not, so that by the time you're checking this guy's KPI, you know that, okay, fine. But some companies might not even need something this intricate. This could just be it, simple, no stress, no nothing, just it's simple information. It depends on what you want. So I'm going to stop here to see if my colleagues have something that they want me to point out.
Okay, just a quick one. Once the case is resolved, does the customer get an email to notify them that the case has been resolved? Just as a follow-up.
That depends on if you require that to be a business requirement.
Okay.
Okay, which of course it can be done.
So is that done from the Dynamics 365, or you have to go back to the Power Automate to do that?
You can do it from Dynamics 365, and you can do it from the Power Automate. So here, let's see. Can you see this?
Yeah.
So you can create a particular flow for this statement. Okay? So it depends on what you want to achieve.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Any further questions? Okay. So since there are no questions, I have quite a bit of time. So I don't have so much time. So let me go into, so I've been able to get all this data, right? And if you noticed, there are also much more, should I say, data on the solution. So now, where do I go to analyze this information? I can analyze the information from here. Okay, because it has its own inbuilt apps. It can tell you the person that has the most cases, which is Ali Bellew. Somebody will need to look at why this person has so many cases coming in. Okay, or should I say, sorry, why this person, sorry, who's this? Active cases by agent, sorry. This, or excuse me, this is the amount of cases being handled by agents. You know that this person has or is handling so many cases. That's me, MOD administrator. So they'll need to know why I have so many cases that have not resolved. There are other reports that I can have here to say, okay, fine. Case by, let's see. All right, case mix by origin. Okay, so we have 14 cases coming in from the web, 14 cases coming in by email, 4 cases coming in, you know, things like that. Then you can say, oh, since there are more cases coming in from the web and the email, I might need to do a particular training on how to deal with customers that coming from the web or coming in by email. I'm already making decisions. So this is the inbuilt, should I say, reports that I have internally on Dynamics 365 Customer Service Hub. So this is new in terms of analytics and insights. All right, I'll wait for that to open up because I'm not 100% sure that has been configured. But let's go here. Now, this is the customer service app analytics for Dynamics 365. It's an app on Power BI. Okay, so we can see the level of reports that has been built here. All right, you can see all of the data here in terms of person, or should I say in terms of the businesses. Okay, so let's give this a focus. All right, so based on this data here, if you notice, there are filters here. So you can filter in terms of the date and time. All right, you can filter in terms of the kind of cases. All right, and of course, you can filter in terms of subject. So you can see, okay, I only want to deal with complaints. All right. So basically, you've been immediately when you do the filtration, all right, immediately when we do the filtration, we can see that it's actually reducing, or sorry, it's dynamic is responding. Sorry, I'm out of time, so I have to wrap up. So here I can now say, all right, since the most cases here about complaint products, let us have a discussion on what is wrong with our tires or what is wrong with our internet so that our customers can be happier. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Remy, for that very detailed demo session. And should in case you want to know more, you can contact the Learning Space. The contact email address is on the chat and also displayed on the screen as well. We really thank you for attending this webinar today, and we hope that you've been able to benefit in terms of how to initially look at the problem and also form your own business processes, and then utilize either Dynamics with a combination of Office 365 or Microsoft 365 to solve your business unique challenges. I think this is a very important conversation today, showing you the practical way you can achieve value for your business, because you need to reduce costs, you need to bring more value, and you need to also know more about your customers and their trends and their behaviors, especially the ones that are going to lead to revenue generation. So again, my name is Kabiru Mohammed Aliu. I would like to thank everyone for coming, and I would also like to thank Olumide Dixon from First Distribution for your valuable time. I'd also like to thank Vivian as well from the Learning Space for your time as well, and also for the enriching discussion. I also would like to thank Aisha Bello, just for giving us several perspectives as well. And also I would like to thank Oyedamola Olalekan from Virtual Informatics, giving us some insights. Please, there's a survey at the end of this session. Please feel free to please complete it. Our special thanks goes to our presenter and the person that did the demo for us, which is Adeyemi Oluwase Samuel from Connex One Nigeria. Thank you very much for your time, and just be rest assured that we would have to take more series, because I'm sure the audience have found this very fascinating and also would like us to sort of continue the engagement, to continue to drive the interest. But thank you very much for your time, and have a great day for that. Thank you.